Today we say goodbye to the rugged beauty of Vang Vieng and make our way to Vientiane, the vibrant capital of Laos, for a day packed with discovery. As we rolled into the city, our guided tour began immediately, giving us our first taste of Vientiane's rhythm and charm. We cruised past the stately presidential palace, its elegant facade watching over the city, before stepping into the historic grounds of Sisaket Museum, home to thousands of ancient Buddha images. From there, we continued on to one of Vientiane's most iconic landmarks, the Victory Gate, rising proudly above the city like a Laos Arc de Triomphe. Its intricate carvings and sweeping views set the perfect tone for our final hours in the capital. After a short rest back at the hotel, we regrouped in the evening for our farewell dinner with our guide, Damrong, a perfect ending to an unforgettable journey. Early in the morning, we left the limestone cliffs of Vang Vieng behind and began our journey south toward Vientiane, rolling onto the legendary Vientiane-Vang Vieng Expressway, the main artery that cuts through the heart of Laos. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a soft golden glow across the mountains as we wound our way out of town. The drive was beautiful. The road dipped through small villages waking up for the day. As we headed south on the expressway, the mountains closed in, and the entrance of the Pu Fa Tunnel appeared ahead, a clean, modern gateway carved straight into the rock. We slipped inside, the world instantly changing to the soft echo of our engine and the steady rhythm of overhead lights stretching deep through the mountain. A few moments later, a glow appeared at the far end, and we burst back into daylight, greeted by sweeping valleys and the open road toward Vientiane. As we continued south, the traffic thickened as we approached the capital. After a few hours on the expressway, we finally arrived in Vientiane, ready for a full day of exploring the city's history, culture, and iconic landmarks. We begin our tour along one of Vientiane's grand boulevards, passing the Presidential Palace, a striking French-inspired landmark built in the early 1900s. Once the residence of the French colonial governor, it now stands as the ceremonial home of Laos president, its elegant facade watching over the city like a reminder of Vientiane's royal and colonial past. From the boulevard, we continue our journey and make our way to the Sisaket Museum, one of Vientiane's oldest and most intriguing temples. Built in 1818 by King Anuvong, it's the only monastery in the city that survived the Siamese invasion of 1828, making it a rare window into Laos's past. As we step through the entrance gate, the noise of the city fades, and we find ourselves in the quiet main courtyard of Wat Sisaket, a space that feels frozen in time. The outer courtyard is lined with small family stupas, each one holding relics or ashes of monks from generations past. In the courtyard, we pass a beautiful open-air pavilion where a serene seated Buddha rests beneath a red and gold roof. 6 standing golden Buddhas surround him in perfect symmetry, framed by ornate tiered parasols that symbolize protection and honor. It's a quiet, elegant shrine that captures the artistry and devotion woven into every corner of Wat Sisaket. In the courtyard, we pass an ornate royal funeral chariot preserved inside a glass pavilion. Its gilded carvings, naga-shaped trim, and towering finials reflect the grandeur once reserved for the funerals of Lao royalty and revered monks. It's a striking reminder of the ceremonial traditions that shaped Laos's spiritual and cultural history. The first thing that catches the eye is the long, low cloister that wraps around the courtyard, its weathered wooden beams and faded ochre walls hinting at more than 2 centuries of history. Inside its cloistered courtyard, thousands of Buddha images line the walls, tiny terracotta figures tucked into niches alongside larger statues in wood, bronze, and stone. The entire complex feels like a living archive, preserving centuries of devotion, artistry, and history under its weathered red-tiled roof. From the courtyard, we step into the shaded cloisters that wrap around the temple like a quiet sanctuary. Tall golden Buddhas sit in long rows beneath the wooden eaves, each one polished smooth by time and devotion. Their calm expressions seem to follow us as we walk. As we continue along the cloister, we come across an elaborate ritual water sculpture, a guardian figure wrapped in coiling naga serpents, its expression fierce yet protective. In earlier times, monks and worshippers poured water into the basin above, letting it flow through the serpent's many mouths so they could wash Buddha statues during purification rites and festival ceremonies. The craftsmanship is incredible up close. The intertwined bodies of the Nagas, the carved scales, the outstretched serpent arms that once guided the water, all shaped by artisans who blended myth and function into a single sacred object. Even though it's no longer used daily, the sculpture still carries the energy of countless rituals, a reminder of how water, purity, and protection are woven into the spiritual life of Lao Buddhism. It stands quietly in the walkway now, a beautifully preserved piece of temple heritage that connects the living monastery to centuries of tradition. After exploring the quiet beauty of Sisaket, we hop into a couple of waiting tuk-tuks and rumble off toward our next landmark. We cruise through Vientiane's wide, modern boulevards, the city opening up around us until the Victory Gate comes into view, rising ahead like a Lao-inspired Arc de Triomphe, bold and unmistakable against the skyline. We pause for a few quick photos, then make our way beneath the towering arch. Looking straight through the passageway, you can see the fountain in the distance, sending up shimmering bursts of water like a show welcoming every visitor. In the heart of Vientiane is Patuxai, the Victory Gate, a monument born from a turbulent chapter in Laos's modern history. Construction began in the early 1960s during a period of rising national pride when the country sought a symbol of independence and identity. Inspired by the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, the design reflects the deep French influence that shaped Laos during the colonial era. But look closer and you'll see the Lao spirit woven into every detail: the tiered towers, the mythological Kinari figures, and the lotus motifs that crown the structure. Stepping inside the arch, each of the four corners are decorated with scenes drawn from ancient Hindu mythology. Here, Vishnu sits in a multi-armed form, each hand holding a symbol of divine power. In one of the ceiling panels, Indra appears riding his three-headed elephant, Erawan, a powerful symbol of protection and divine authority. Flanked by celestial attendants and framed in gold, the scene blends Hindu mythology with Lao artistic style. Another panel inside the arch shows a royal emblem, a guardian deity encircled in gold, flanked by two sword-wielding celestial protectors. Their leaping forms and fierce expressions symbolize divine vigilance, a reminder that this monument stands under the watch of ancient spiritual guardians. Another panel reveals Vishnu in his multi-armed form, seated in calm authority as celestial attendants kneel at his side. His presence symbolizes balance and preservation, a reminder of the ancient Hindu influences woven into Lao culture and immortalized here inside the Victory Gate. High above, powerful deities look down from the ceiling panels, reminders of the spiritual traditions that shaped this region long before the monument itself was built. Construction was never fully completed due to political upheaval, leaving Patuxai with a slightly unfinished texture, a reminder of the country's shifting history. Yet today, it stands proudly as one of Vientiane's most iconic landmarks, a fusion of French architecture and Lao artistry rising together into the sky. Just beside the arch stand two of Laos' most important government buildings, the Prime Minister's office and the National Parliament. Their modern designs reflect the country's shift into a new political era, contrasting sharply with the monument's 1960s architecture and its blend of French and Lao influences. Later that evening, we wandered across Nam Phu Park, stopping to watch the central fountain burst into colors before continuing on to the restaurant for our final dinner with our guide, Damrong. It was the perfect ending to an incredible 2-week journey through Thailand and Laos, a trip filled with moments and memories that will stay with us for a lifetime. Settle in and come along for a quick journey back through our adventure, a whirlwind of temples, rivers, mountains, and unforgettable moments from our 2-week trek across Thailand and Laos. Let these final scenes take you down memory lane as we relive the sights, the stories, and the spirit of a trip we'll be talking about for years.